Unfortunately, as much as everybody wanted it, the Broncos just couldn't get it done, couldn't clinch a playoff spot this past weekend against the Bengals. But there is good news. This is the last day of the year, so hopefully the Broncos can go into the new year with a win. This is your Denver Sports Daily for December 31st.
The biggest stories, the latest news. It's Denver Sports Daily.
Now, the Broncos could not clinch a playoff spot against the Bengals this past Saturday. They fell to the Cincinnati Bengals 30-24. And honestly, one of the best games I've seen all year on both sides for both teams. This was just an amazing, amazing game if you were watching it. And I'd hope you guys do. If you're watching this show, you guys are watching the Broncos games because that was incredible. Now, Bo Nix threw for 219 yards and 3 touchdowns. And Marvin Mims was his best receiver and looked like the best player out there. He caught 8 catches for 103 yards and added 2 touchdowns. Now, one of those touchdowns was a 51-yarder, and that other touchdown I'll get into a bit. Now, despite their great performances, it wasn't enough to beat the Bengals, and they almost did it with Marvin Mims catching an incredible 25-yard touchdown pass with 8 seconds left on 4th down to send the game to overtime. Oh my gosh, I've never seen a place like my house as electric as it was when Marvin Mims caught that pass. Bo Nix, the cojones you have, that's incredible. Just throwing the ball up, 4th down, 8 seconds left. He said, don't worry, Marvin's down there somewhere. Marvin freaking Mims. Now, this might be a kind of a hot take, and I'm going to try to phrase this the best way I can. But out of all the ceilings in this wide receiver room that the Broncos have, I think that Marvin Mims is a high ceiling. I love Courtland Sutton. I think Courtland Sutton is probably as good as he's going to get, but Marvin Mims' ceiling is up there to be a wide receiver 1. Marvin Mims could be the best receiver on this Broncos team if he can get that ball. You know, we've seen him have great games so far this season. Great catches, great movement. He's quick, that acceleration, the middle of the field where Bo Nix loves to play. Marvin Mims is there. Bo Nix likes to stay in the middle of the field. He likes to stay in between the hash marks. And Marvin Mims is there, and he's running downfield. He is running fast, and he gets that ball, and he's gone. He is incredible. This game cemented Marvin Mims as not only my favorite Broncos wide receiver, but I think he might be the best. Now, with the loss, the Broncos did go into overtime. The Bengals got the ball first, and the Broncos defense forced a punt, as you should, as the Broncos defense has been doing. They've been great. But then the Broncos went 3 and out. They had to give the ball back to the best offense in the league in the Cincinnati Bengals. And then the Broncos were lucky enough to get the ball back again after Cade York, the kicker for the Bengals, missed the game-winning field goal. Oh my gosh, so many ups and downs. The Broncos got the ball back again. You get the ball back twice in overtime, you're thinking, oh, you got to win. If you get the ball twice in overtime, you got to win the game. But then they went 3 and out again. The Broncos went 3 and out twice in overtime. They gave the ball back to the Bengals, who ended up throwing a touchdown to T. Higgins to win the game. Now, I don't care which way you flip it. You look at it front ways, you look at it back ways, upside down, however you look at it, you get the ball twice in overtime, you got to win the game. And I know a lot of people were saying, oh, you got to go for 2. You got to go for 2 on that last touchdown to win the game. No, you don't. You take the points, you pray for overtime, you pray to go out there and have the best defense in the league in the Denver Broncos hold the best offense in the league. That's how you go out there. And they did. The Broncos defense did exactly what they should have. But you gave the ball back twice. You get the ball twice in overtime, you got to score. You got to score a field goal at least, and it just didn't happen. They went 3 and out twice. That's just not a winning formula, and it scares me for if they can make the playoffs. If they can make the playoffs, you're not going to win games if you're going 3 and out twice in overtime. That's just not a winning formula, not even close. That looked terrible. That's not the kind of performance that we've seen from the Broncos this season. Now, the Broncos do still have a chance to clinch a playoff spot. All they have to do is beat the Chiefs. They just have to beat the Chiefs this weekend. Now, the Chiefs are most likely expected to sit their starters because the Chiefs have already clinched the best record in the league. They've got that first round bye. There's no reason for them to play their starters and risk a injury, anything bad happening to them. It's just not worth it. If they sit their starters, that's actually where I'd be more nervous. As a Broncos fan, you got all these guys who don't usually play coming out there hoping to make a statement, kicking the Broncos out of playoffs. That definitely happens. That happens. You see that. That happens. The Broncos need to be at the top of their game this weekend. All they have to do, we've been saying it for 4 weeks now. All they have to do is win. All they have got to do is win a game, and they make the playoffs for the first time since 2015. I think I got a little bit too big for my britches a couple weeks ago when I said that the Broncos are going to make the playoffs, because now it's not as close. It's not a comfortable sit anymore. It's not comfortable. The Broncos need to win this game coming up, the most important game of the season. I've been saying it for weeks now, but this one actually is. This is as important as it gets. As important as it gets. You got to win to get in the playoffs. If you lose, there's no telling what's going to happen. And it's not going to be an easy game overall. It's really not going to be an easy game at all. Now, after the loss this weekend, Bo Nix's odds to win Rookie of the Year are just not great. Just a couple weeks ago, Bo looked like he could take away the award from Jaden Daniels, but that's not the case anymore. The Broncos are on a 4-game skid, and Jaden Daniels has been playing great. After he threw that game-winning touchdown this weekend against the Falcons, Daniels is the runaway favorite for the award. Now, Daniels currently has negative 20,000 odds to win. Basically means if you're putting money on him, you're not winning anything. Bo Nix's odds are at plus 10,000. Not looking great. Unfortunately, now Bo could make a late run at the Rookie of the Year award in his final game of the season against the Chiefs, but it's close to impossible to sway those odds now. He was looking so close. But now it's just probably not going to happen. It's really unfortunate, because how much fun would it have been if in the same year we had a NBA MVP, the college football Heisman, and the NFL Rookie of the Year? That would have been so much fun, but it's just not looking like it's going to happen. Despite Bo Nix playing really well, Jaden Daniels, you got to give your flowers to when you see someone playing this well as a rookie. Jaden Daniels has been playing incredible. He's been playing at the highest level as a rookie. He's up there with some of the best quarterbacks in the league, and arguably the best quarterback in the NFC right now. Kind of a hot take, but he's up there. He's in the top 3. Now, the CU Buffaloes also lost this weekend, but they were playing in the Alamo Bowl. Now, the Buffaloes did what they promised to do, and they brought Peggy to a bowl game, but unfortunately, the Buffs couldn't leave Texas with a win. They lost to BYU 36-14. Shadur Sanders and Travis Hunter did what they said, and they played the entire game, and they played well enough. Shadur notched 208 passing yards for 2 touchdowns, and 106 of those yards and one of those touchdowns went to Travis Hunter. Now, the clear downfall of CU was how poor the run game looked. Terrible. CU finished the game with only 2 yards. Now, the stats may be a bit skewed because in college football, sack yards count for rush yards. So that's where you're going to see a little bit of the yardage get skewed a little bit so that it's moving it around. Sack yards don't count for rush yards in the NFL, but it does in college football. But the funny thing is, BYU actually had more rush yards on their first attempt than CU did in the entire games. BYU had 6 yards on their first run attempt, and CU only had 2 yards throughout the whole game. Not a winning formula. Now, although the Buffs couldn't finish with a win, this is truly the end of an amazing era with Shadur Sanders and Travis Hunter. They are going to be leaving for the NFL, going to be top 5 picks, most likely. But, I mean, that's basically a given now, isn't it? They've been incredible all season. Shadur's looking like he's going to the New York Giants. Travis Hunter, who knows where he's going? Probably the Patriots, honestly. But just an incredible era. Just awesome. And thankfully, it looks like Coach Prime is going to be staying. But those guys, wow, what a legacy they've cemented themselves in CU. Just in Boulder, they're going to go down as legends in this state and in that town. Now, the Nuggets steamrolled over the Utah Jazz last night in the best performance I've seen from this starting lineup all year, all season. Listen to this. Michael Porter Jr., 21 points. Christian Brown, 20 points. Jamal Murray, 20 points and 10 assists. Russell Westbrook, 16 points, 10 rebounds, 10 assists, and 4 steals. Most importantly, Nikola Jokic, MVP numbers, once again, 36 points, 22 rebounds, 11 assists, 4 steals, 2 triple-doubles in the same game. Russell Westbrook and Nikola Jokic, are you kidding me? This is like my childhood and right now coming together. The triple-double king and then the current triple-double king putting up triple-doubles together. And Nikola Jokic, 36 points, 22 rebounds, and 11 assists. Let me do the math there. That is, what is that? 50, 58, 70, almost 70 total points, rebounds, and assists combined. And then you had the steals. He's got over 70. Just incredible. Oh my gosh. Nikola Jokic has been playing at the highest level all season. And with that, this is only the 6th time in history that 3 players on the same team have had 10 assists in the same game. Now, with those numbers, the Nuggets ran through the Jazz. as they should. If you're doing that and you're not winning games, then clearly there's a bigger problem. But they beat them 132 to 121. The Nuggets have now won 2 in a row after their back-to-back losses on Christmas against the Suns and then against the Cavaliers. After that, they're now 18-13 and sit at 6th in the West. The Nuggets are rolling right now. They really are. Don't look now, but they're getting hot. And I guarantee you Michael Porter Jr. has heard those trade rumors. I guarantee it. He's been playing very well. Same with Jamal Murray. They've really stepped up their game and have taken over that scoring load. That scoring load has widely been dwindled from Nikola Jokic. He doesn't have to go out there and put up 36 points, even though he will, but he doesn't have to because Michael Porter Jr. and Jamal Murray have really picked up their slack. They've really picked up. They've gone out there. They know what they need to do. They've made winning plays. Jamal Murray has been doing that all of his career, making winning plays, shooting buzzer beaters, that kind of stuff. Jamal Murray has been out there succeeding, and Michael Porter Jr. is following in that. He is going out there, and they are winning games, and that is all that matters right now. Now, it is an Avalanche game day. The Avs look to extend their win streak to 5 in a row tonight against the Winnipeg Jets. The Avs have been on a tear. They've won all their past 4 games by a margin of 2 or 3 goals. Now, clearly, they've been playing well, but most of that's coming from the goalie play from the Avs. And most of that is coming from Mackenzie Blackwood. He's been playing at such a high level. In their past 4 games, the Avalanche haven't allowed more than 2 goals once. They haven't allowed more than 2 goals in their past 4 games. Incredible play. Now, the Avs are now only 4 points behind the Minnesota Wild in the Central Division, and they're coming into this game tonight as 2-point favorites as they'll take the ice at 6 p.m. Now, that's going to do it for your Denver Sports Daily. It's so good being back with you guys. I know it was a long break there, but, we got another one tomorrow. I'm not going to be here tomorrow because it is New Year's Day. This is the last show of the year. It's been so much fun. It's been a really, really good time, and hopefully all of these teams can go into the new year, looking for wins, especially the Broncos. Let's start out 2025 with a win against the Chiefs. How much fun would that be? Going into 2025, beating the Chiefs, new era, new year, new me, said the Broncos. That's all you got to do. Just win this game, and they're going out. They're making the playoffs. That's all that I can pray for. That was my one Christmas wish. Hopefully they can get it. Hopefully. That's going to do it for your Denver Sports Daily. I will see you guys all on Thursday because there's going to be no show tomorrow. Y'all have a great new year. I'm so happy I'm back with you guys. Great Christmas. Good to see you all again, but I will see you all later. Bye, y'all.